That should be good to go live for now. Let's make sure everything looks okay. Sound stuff. That should be good to go live. Seems good. What's going on, everybody? How you doing? Cyrus is here. Big JP and Penguin have a lobby. John FB's here. How you doing, dude? How you doing? Can see and hear you. Should be seeing Hazel, though. I just gave her some good scritches, but she's out there hanging with Mom. Finally got past the first round of a tournament. All it took was a bye. Fucking got him, dude. Fucking got him. I'm in the lobby as a opponent. I'm not actually fighting Blood Penguin. I'm just trying to get him to put up a spectator slot. As is my birthright. Going good? Dude, I am tired. I am tired. I had a very long day. Had a stream before this one. Went out, planted some peas for the spring so they can grow. Planted some of those. Moved around a whole bunch of crap and nonsense and stuffs. TY. And then I went down to the basement and finally took like 800 boxes of board games and put them back onto pallets that we got them on. Had to do some reorganizing down there, but got them all up off the ground in case there is basement flooding. I will not lose $20,000 worth of product. All right, let's get our blocker up. Let's get the names changed. And 0. Blood Penguin. Who of them picks first? I don't know. You. Big JP's top of the bracket. Okay, what was I doing? Oh yeah, Blood Penguin, and then I need to get his opponent. Dr. PhD RTK Big JP. Big JP. John, if you're still in the chat, how are you enjoying Game 3? I've seen you playing a bit. I haven't had time to pick your brain about it, though. Alright, stream stuff's already focusing. I normally have more time to set up stuff, but I knew I wasn't playing. I got done hauling boxes around the basement like 30 minutes ago, and Grace got home. We made dinner, and we had a quick dinner. And there's supposed to be a round before the semifinals, but enough people dropped out last second that actually semifinals was ready to go, and I was like, shit! So, threw together a stream real fast, but I was supposed to have time. You demand a Vampire Coast. Seems like they way fell out of favor in Warhammer 2. Vampire Coaster played earlier today by, I believe, Tretch, and he did win that game. Coops, you would like to play, but you have a soccer game to go play in? I hope that you win, friend. Hope that you win. You are actually enjoying, but there are a lot of problems. There are a lot of problems. I agree. It's not terrible. It's not the worst thing in the world. I haven't had a lot of time to play, but I would play more, especially the campaign. But just been busy. And honestly, viewership numbers and tournament participation numbers depress me sometimes, because it's like new game and it's supposed to be great and stuff, and then it's like I have sometimes lower viewership than Warhammer 2, and it's like, goddamn. BF Flyer is back again for the second stream of the day. What's going on? 0, isn't this also South American time? No, No, it isn't. Mm-mm. South America doesn't have time. They live in a zero gravity, timeless, parallel dimension. Yeah. You'll go back and look. Didn't get to watch the earlier stream. It was chill. It was a very chill stream. I'll admit I was kind of in a weird... I was in a weird mood where I was just talking about kind of everything. Doing a bunch of different factions of build while everything is still new and not worked out. Yeah. I'm hoping that there will be another period like that when the game 2 and 1 factions get added back in. Everybody's still figuring shit out. Just wait with more and more. Latinos in the U.S. will be proven right. Yeah, because they all say football too, right? Wow, this is a very educational stream. It's not. Big JP is ready on his Dark Elves. And we get Vampire Counts versus Dark Elves, which used to be considered a very bad matchup for the Vampire Counts, and I have no idea why Blood Penguin picked into it, but let's find out. There are already more Mexicans in America than Canadians in Canada. I don't know if any of that is true. I have literally no idea. Okay. Get into game 1. Second stream of the day. We're going to do great. We're not going to completely fall off a cliff energy level. We're going to do great. Meant to ask this in the earlier stream, but had to go. There seems like there are a lot of differences between Warhammer 1 and 2/3. Were the differences that dramatic between 1 and 2? Not really. Not really. The biggest difference between 1 and 2 was that 2 had way less factions at the start compared to the end of 1, where the start of 1, I guess, you only had Greenskins, Vampire Counts, Empire, Dwarves, and Bretonnia. Game 2 launched with just 4. Lizardmen, Skaven, High Elves, Dark Elves, and then the Bretonnia version from Game 1, you know, where you get your 5th DLC faction or whatever, that was Norska, but then they weren't included in Game 2's campaign. They were included in Mortal Empires, which didn't come out for a while. So Game 2 launched with only 4 factions. But as like large mechanics-wise, there wasn't that big of changes, honestly. Game 3 is definitely more different in that sense. Yeah, I played a lot of campaign in Game 1. A little bit of multiplayer, but not a lot. And then I played a lot of campaign and multiplayer in Game 2. And now I'm here for 3 as well. Getting into 200 seconds on the load. Okay, I was just about worried that we were going to have a disconnect or something, which would be silly. For RTK's Big JP and the Dark Elves, we have a kind of hybrid build, so I like it. It's not as degenerate as it could be. Foot Marathi, Soul Stealer, Wand of Crydon, the usual stuff. Canadian Assassin with the Web of Shadows and Assassin Trophy, and we have 1 Death Hag just with her AoE buff spell. 1 unit of Witch Elves to potentially rampage a high-value target into the Dread Spears that are here, including the Hellebronai. We have 1 Dark Shard to pressure the enemy, and 3 Blackguard of Naggarond. We also have the big boy himself, the Chilly Billy, Chill of Sontar. On the other side, for Blood Penguin and the Vampire Counts, Dire Pack, Dire Wolves ROR. Zombies, 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 zombies. And backing them up, we have Skeleton Warriors, 4 of them. Looks like 2 Blood Knights, Mortis Engine, Double White King, both Scab Scrape, and in the sky, a Blood Dragon Vampire Lord, my personal favorite of the Vampire Lords, with Invocation of the Heck and the Zombie Summon, plus his Helm of Discord and Heart Piercing. Cool, cool. Magic and stuff worked the same in 1 and 2. The battle pace slowed down a lot. Game 2 battles seem faster. They are a bit faster. They are a bit faster. They are ready. So, what the idea behind this blob is Morathi has a -10 melee defense, melee attack aura, and then she has another -10 melee attack, so that's -20 melee attack in an area around her constantly. Don't go too far. Death Hag. Want to see the Death Hag and no one else for just a moment. Damn it. My camera settings are too sensitive to find this little person. Nope. I don't give a shit about Morathi. There we go. Death Hag. And then she gives -5 more melee attack and an aura around her. So any vampire count unit that enters this area gets -25 melee attack, meaning to make the bump and grind against the Dark Elves feel fucking hopeless. Which would mean skeleton warriors and zombies would all have a melee attack of negative. Mortis Engine, it would still technically have melee attack. Blood Knights would have 5 without their charge bonus, so it is a quite potent Dark Elf debuff blob. I don't know if they are waiting for me, but just in case. There is no need. Oh, that Hydra. Oh shit, it's Human Boy? Yo. Did he really not notice that I've been here this whole time? I was talking to him earlier. JP. Alright. Okay. Counts are going to advance. My game feels very quiet, so I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Let me know if you can't hear me over that or some shit. Maybe I'm just too quiet on my speakers. Anyway. Dark Elves are advancing at least until their Dark Shards can get in range or something. And yes, now they're pivoting to shoot at bats. And their range is longer than I give them credit for. Where'd they have that? Oh, the secondary circle isn't them. It's like Morathi's aura or something. Okay, I was very confused what that red circle was. I thought the Dark Shards range was like right here. Where are my paintbrushes? There. I thought for some reason the Dark Shards range was there, which was ridiculous. Counts will take a second. Set up full surround. Though it won't do them much good. There's nowhere to go. One Scab Scraith is used on the Dark Shards. They'll probably use another one that direction unless they use both in one, but the Witch Elves are an extremely good target for Scab Scraith. Only 5 armor on them means you'll get pretty much max damage because it has very bad armor piercing values. See? Look at that shit. Half health off of that unit, and they're very expensive. And even the tail end hits the Dark Shards. Those are some good Scab Scraiths from Blood Penguin. Who's immediately going to send in a zombie. Now what he wants to do is, the Dark Elves have an army passive called Murderous Prowess. It means after a certain amount of melee combat, they get a big army-wide buff that lasts a certain amount of time, and experienced players will try and blow that buff with crappy chaff units so that the zombies are going to die, then the buff will pop, and then you send in a couple more zombies and skeletons until the buff wears off, and then you can take the official fight, and a lot of their value is down the drain. Those aren't handbows? No, those are straight-up Dark Shards. Straight up Dark Shards. Fellbats did a little bit of harassing, mostly trying to rout off the Dark Shards, making sure they get out of the box. Now, you don't want those Fellbats too close, so you'll make them turn around and go back into the box, but it looks like they are continuing to run. And once they leave, they are prey to the vampire counts, because there is no mobility for the Dark Elves that can follow them. Mortis Engine's running in, applying a big old draining debuff to all the infantry around the fight. And that is why the Dark Elves will immediately pile in and try to take that bad boy out. With the Witch Elves here, this is why they were brought. They can rampage the Mortis Engine, and now it is out of control, meaning it will go deeper and deeper into a shit melee situation and die. Somehow the Canid Assassin got way outside the box, and he is now using his Web of Shadows on the Blood Knights, doing decent damage to them, but this is not worth his life, and he will most certainly die out there. Dark Shards are continually pushed off. and the Canadian Assassin is most likely going down. He only has 1,500 health, even though he has half health left. He didn't start out with that much, so it doesn't matter. Morathi gets a big Soul Stealer. The Mortis Engine finally stops rampaging so it can run away. Chill of Sontar kind of chases it, but it won't be able to get very far through the Skeleton Warriors. No, it really is just going for it. If the other units of Blood Knights can swing around and catch that guy out without any of his spear support, that'll be a lot of damage going on to Chill of Sontar. Mortis Engine is going to get away. It does have self-healing, and it has support healing from the Blood Dragon Lord, who is currently breath attacking the shit out of the Blackguard. That was a good strike. How did that breath not hit his guard? No idea. Breath attacks are weird. Mortis Engine has rallied, and now it can peacefully regen up, though it is going to fight more Blackguard. And that might be a mistake. You see it took 300 damage very quickly, and now it's going to run away again. Maybe you want to fight Dread Spears for a bit, not the Blackguard. Helm of Discord is popped, giving him minus 24 melee attack and defense or around him, and he pops all of his buffs. Runs in a cute little circle around the Death Hag before fleeing entirely. Ah, brilliant. Just perfect. Canadian Assassin in the distance has shattered. Dark Shards in the distance have shattered. And we are back to stage 1. Slight advantage for the Vampire Counts on the balance of power. I'm tempted to say it's better for them than that, but looking around, they are a little beat up in the chaff department. The zombies aren't looking so hot. Skeleton Warriors aren't either. And if you have a lot of your big guns left, it doesn't matter if they have to sit and fight spears all day. You really like the ability to weave in and out. Though I suppose the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord always has the summons. You can summon zombies to fulfill the attacking role, so you can charge in and charge out as you wish to do. One Blackguard finally breaks with only 300 health. It's probably going to die before it shatters, but okay. Blood Dragon Vampire Lord has one breath attack left in the pocket. I just don't know if it's off cooldown yet. Witch Elves and Hellebroni suffer yet another Scab Scrape. Yet another comes in. I wouldn't be shocked if they routed at this point. 2 more units routing. You have dogs and bats sitting around somewhere. Wait, are the dogs in combat? Ooh, yeah, you don't love to see that. Dogs and Blood Knights rampaging because of the Witch Elves. Forced to sit and get chopped apart by Blackguard. They will want to get out of here. One last breath attack comes in, doing really good damage onto the Blackguard. And they need, Blood Penguin needs to get his Fell Bats onto all these routing units. Can't allow them to come back. Little slip in the micro there. Mortis Engine is almost heal capped itself and is currently crumbling. A Soul Stealer almost hits it, but just barely misses. And a big mistake here from the Vampire Counts, letting these units rally and come back. Big mistake. Mortis Engine is going to keep crumbling, so it decided to come back in here and just do some damage on its way out the door anyway. And they are trying to rout off the second Blackguard, which they do, and again, they have to finish chasing them off. The Fellbats are engaged once again. Maybe don't want to front charge the Dread Spears. Should probably try to get behind them and get a rear charge in. Doesn't look like it'll matter. As soon as that leadership sinks to negative, they will break, and that is good. Mortis Engine, heal capped, crumbles, and down it goes. Perfect. Blackguard routing. Now the Fellbats are chasing stuff off, which is good. I don't think they'll be forgotten. Second time, the Blood Dragon Lord goes for a big dive back in. Now you've taken out a lot of the support, you've taken out a lot of the chaff. There are still some Blackguard, but there's also Big Chilly Billy, Morathi, and the Death Hag. You can see the Blood Dragon Lord only has 27 melee attack, plus his charge bonus, to be fair, but only 27 melee attack because of all the debuffs. White Kings are both down to 9, and Blood Knights, as soon as they come in range, fall down to 15. And then, probably lower. Oh, just 15. Alright, thought it would go a little lower than that. Dark Elves are still decently happy with the assets they have alive. Blood Dragon Lord's got to be running out of Winds of Magic at this point. I don't know what he would do with it between summoning or healing. Because the zombie summon is pretty useful to muck things up. In fact, there is one out right there. Blood Knights are both going to bounce out. A big overcasted Invocation Heck is going to heal up this entire area, including the Lord and both Blood Knights, and they're just trying to rout off some of the Dread Spears. Fellbats could be used to chase off some more Dread Spears, but it looks like they're going to come in for a rear charge on these Blackguard, who have 300 HP, still fighting to the very last. They are pretty much unbreakable. They are not immune to psychology, so they could actually tear her out right now. And they will naturally rout, going down to 200 HP, not even visible on their health bar. Chill of Sontar gets one last little fight out, but Bounce Power is looking pretty bad for the Dark Elves, and I would tend to agree at this juncture, unless the Chill of Sontar pulls something crazy out of his ass. Hydras have traditionally low leadership, but the Regiment of Renown is very high in that department, so he actually won't break until usually he's just about dead. Marathi's stuck in fighting the Blood Dragon Lord, but she is terrible at fighting the double White Kings, and the Chill of Sontar is doing a little bit of bumping, grinding, moving, and grooving, and not really swinging that much. Blood Knights have a ridiculous bonus versus large that Hydra is screwed. He sure is. He sure is. Yet another Helm of Discord. The Chill of Sontar's healing up with the Hydra's regeneration abilities. And the Blood Knights come in yet again. Death Hag breaks, and without her, the balance of power will tip into army losses, and that'll be it for the Dark Elves. GG. GG. Blood Dragon Lord, 2,800 value, White Kings both in the 1,600 range when you average them out. All the infantry got murdered. Blood Knights did well, Fellbats chased stuff off, Dogs got murdered, and Mortis Engine did okay. Marathi, 2,100, Death Hag, 900, Canaan Assassin, 1,150 in his short life on this earth. Dread Spears did fine, Witch Elves got murdered, but they were just mostly Rampage bots. Dark Shards also got murdered. Blackguard mixed value, and the Chill of Sontar did okay. You figured out what beer is? Yeah, I got a Paulander München. Non-alcoholic. Hooray. Hooray. I went to a different liquor store, and they actually had a wider selection. Okay, gotta update the score. Blood Penguin 1. Gotcha. Go to sitting mode. Whip! Boop! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to sitting mode. I will be your host for today's adventure in the realm of not standing. Next map is the Lost Crater. It was my personal favorite in Warhammer 2. Brett Chaos for Blood Penguin. Big JP, where did you go? Okay, he's back. Cool. Just 22, might be a campaign thing. They are that high. Oh. Okay, you guys are still talking about the Blood Knights. I was confused for a second. Just in case you didn't see that before he disconnected. For a brief moment. I have a good poll. A good poll coming your way. How are we? Yes, no. Warpout joined my server. Who is Warpout? Welcome, but I don't know you. Big JP's a big Greenskin player. I wouldn't be surprised if he would go Greenskin here. Oh, Lizardmen. Really? Alright. To each their own. He's probably going to get Chaos picked into him then, because Bretonia versus Lizardmen is bad. It's real bad. But who knows how seriously Blood Penguin's taking it. Maybe he'll just go Bretonia for funsies. Jeremy, your dinner consists of chips and salsa, then ice cream. This is how I eat when my wife is out of town. Fair enough, dude. Fair enough. It's funny, but in my house it's the opposite. If I'm not around, then Grace scavenges for whatever she can find, and when I am around, we cook lots of good things. Warpout's here in the chat. What up, dude? Just hanging out. I wanted to check it out. Yeah, server's pretty chill place. We have memes. We have pictures of cute animals. We have tournaments. We have streams. It's a good time. Recently saw some old VODs of Warhammer 2 tournaments, and you really like watching Skaven. I played a lot. I played a lot of Skaven. A ludicrous amount. John FB, you never saw Bretonnia versus Lizardmen? It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad for Bretonnia. Usually you just wanted to spam archers, and then it was some mixture of armor-piercing cav or armor-piercing infantry. Sometimes you try to go for flying cheese, but it was tough. Because the big armored dinos and Saurus spear boxes were just brutal. 2,189 hours on Total Warhammer 2. That's what I have. What are my most played games? Let's sort by playtime. Playtime? Hours played. Oh, yeah. It's 2,200-ish hours on Total Warhammer 2, then 300 hours on Team Fortress, and it just keeps going down. How much time did I play League of Legends? Hey, Butcherbird's here. It's been a while. What up, Bird? Kids are with the wife. It'd be slightly better if they were here. Fair enough. How much time have I wasted on LOL? Let's see. Did I ever pass League of Legends with Warhammer? Big JP is ready. $688 hours. Really? I thought it was more than that. Yeah, okay, I like tripled my League of Legends time on Warhammer 2. Really? I thought it was much longer than that. Okay, cool. Brett versus Lizardman was only bad because of the Coloston hunters? That's an interesting take. Though you usually are one for spicy takes. You haven't been doing anything lately? Bird, did you ever get 3? Have you tried it at all? I'm curious. Because I know you were going to wait for a bit. I just don't know if a bit happened. This is a spicy build from Blood Penguin. I like it. Warhammer is only my second most played game on Steam. What's your first most played? I am scared to ask. 3 computer games overall. Cyrus, you gotta up those numbers. You gotta get more games played. Have you played The Witcher 3? And if not, why not? Witcher 3 is incredible, dude. Incredible. You don't have 3. Enough people have said it isn't wonderful. I don't feel like spending the money. Yeah. Yeah. I get that. If I wasn't covering it as, like, a content creator, well, I probably still would have gotten it for the campaign, because the campaigns are lovely. There's stuff that can be improved, sure, but they're already good. They're fine. If you're into only multiplayer, I'd say there's problems, but, like, the campaign's super fun. Right. Who is pinging me? It is Cyrus. Hello. Mountain Blade Warband is really good. It's really good. You can pick armies and map and stuff, though. Alright. Covering this, Blood Penguin brought motherfucking Kolek Suneater, my favorite lord on the Warriors of Chaos roster. And I am super excited to see him get into Game 3 and fight, like, Scarbrand and shit. Wouldn't it be awesome to just see Kolek Suneater putting the hurt onto a Great Unclean one? Come on. Come on. He'd be so good. Anyway, we have Chaos Chariots. It looks like only one of them. Some Skirmish Cav, Horsemen, and Horsemen. No Horse Masters today. Chaos Marauders, Warriors with Great Weapons, 2 Shielded Chosen. More Chaos Warriors with Great Weapons and Chaos Marauders. Interesting to bring 2 Shielded Chosen. And a Chaos Sorcerer of Death with Spirit Leech, Soul Blight, and the Scroll of Shielding. Cool. Neat build. I like it. It's not the most competitive thing I've ever seen, but it's good. Gets the job done. I really like the Kolek pick. And he will have things to fight. Mazda Mundi on his Triceratops with Net and Apotheosis for some healing. Then we have a Bastildon with the Solar Engine. A Bastildon with an Arc of Sotek to kill off a lot of infantry. A Saurus frontline that will get murdered by the Chaos Warriors, so that is going to be a problem. Then we have some Skink cohorts of Javelins, 3 Chameleon Skinks for some skirmishing, and the cohort of Sotek Red-Crested Skink ROR. That is unbreakable and has the undying ability that the Khorne armies in Game 3 has, but they just have it on a cooldown, because they're great. You get bored with campaign easily, find them poorly balanced. I could see that. I kind of, if you've seen any of my campaign streams with my friends, I tend to kind of be a fuck around and find out kind of guy. Where, like, my friend Josh is very smart about things, and he's very tactical, and I'll, like, you know, walk Tsarina out to fight some Slaaneshi army just because I want to, so everybody has a different way of playing campaign. You'd love to see Kolek as the correct size. Yeah, isn't he, like... If Kolek was his correct size, wouldn't he be... Oh, I swear there were more statues around here. Yeah, wouldn't he be, like, that big? If he were correct. Okay, looks like the players had a little bit of confusion about the start of the game, but then they figured it out. Liam, how you doing? How you doing? I get paranoid that I'm gonna forget who you are in Discord because on YouTube you have Liam as your name. Are you you're saltier than you, right? Just making sure. I think you're saltier than you. I would say Warriors of Chaos have a good chance here if Kolek doesn't get focused by jabs. Yeah. Yeah, he'll put the hurting on Mazda Mundi if he can get in a fight. Bigger, but that's... He's still bigger than that, you're saying, but it's closer. Yeah, Kolek's a big guy. His dad's even bigger. The AI is just too shit for me. I can win battles too easily, run over the map with 1 or 2 bad armies on Legendary. And I don't have IRL friends for multiplayer campaigns. Yeah. To each their own. Some campaign players don't like multiplayer either, so it's pretty whatever. Hey, I remembered correctly. Hell yeah. The Solar Engine's doing what it can, but it's missing the Marauder Horsemen a little bit. And the Marauder Horsemen aren't actually that big of a deal for the Lizardmen. There's no Plague of Rust from the Metal Caster to lower their armor, so these 4 Marauder Horsemen won't do very much to the big dinosaurs. A lot of that work's going to be on Kolek himself, unfortunately. And even he has to be a little careful. While he is meant to kill armored large targets like this, he doesn't want to 3v1 them, so he'll have to somehow find a way to take that fight 1v1 or maybe 2v1. Mazda Mundi's Ruination of Cities gets a really nice cast on the Marauder Horsemen, deleting 1 unit entirely off the face of the battlefield. And now the Saurus have met Chaos Warriors, and they're not McDonald's. They're not ba-da-ba-ba-ba loving it. They're in fact ba-da-ba-ba-ba hating it. Chaos Chariot's going to be MVP. There is no mass to stop him, aside from the big dinosaurs that can't catch it. So go, Chaos Chariot, go! Blood Penguin's going nuts. They found Kolek sleeping. They thought he was a mountain. He's a big boy. Yeah, but Kraken Rock the Black, if I remember his name correctly, that's his dad, and he's somehow even bigger. Alright, Mazda Mundi got a net onto Kolek, getting him into that 2v1 scenario we're talking about. It looks like he traded about half HP with the Arc of Sotek for a third of his own, which is about an even trade, maybe a little worse off for Kolek, so he doesn't have healing, and Mazda Mundi can slowly heal up that Arc of Sotek. Plus, 3 Chameleon Skinks are shooting his ass right now, so he's not liking it. When death spells are on the caster, Soulblight has minus 30 armor. That is true, but minus 30 out of 140 isn't the same as an overcasted Plague of Rust, because that's like 60, right? 60 or 80. Some pretty wild shit. Chariot gets shot in the face by the solar engine. That's largely ignoring it. Down to 2 models out of 3, though. Let's not get out of here scot-free. And Kolek gets chased down by Mazda Mundi. He's down to about half health at this juncture. And Mazda ain't exactly about to let him go. Is this important? Nope. I'll get back to it later. Ow. Nasty cross shot from the solar engine. Another Soul Blight, I'm guessing? Yes, taking the Skinks down to 0 armor across the board. Ow. That's brutal. And a Lord of the Storm from Kolek comes in, but Mazda Mundi got a little too big for his britches, and without his Ark of Sotek friend, Kolek is actually winning the 1v1, and now he's running away. Turns to fight the Ark of Sotek. Cool. All the dinos are routing. And Balance Power slightly tipped into the Chaos favor. I think it is going better for them than slightly favored, but Community Skinks do have a lot of ammunition. I guess the game is factoring that in as well. Solar Engine still teeing off. It looks like into these Martyr Horsemen. Ooh, 3 of them blobbed up. If Mazda Mundi has his Bound Banishment, he should probably cast it over here about now. Or his other Ruination of Cities. Really any AoE damage spell. Oh, there it is! There it is! Yes! Give it to me! No, don't run away, you cowards! Oh, the sad. The sad. I mean, good for Big JP. Not Big JP. Good for Blood Penguin to notice that he needed to move those units, but I wanted to see it. Kolek's back to fighting Mazda Mundi. He's got to have insane value this game by the time it's all said and done. And he does need to swing again. Yep, there it is. And he almost never misses at this point. Mazda Mundi's melee defense is only 42. Kolek has 66 melee attack without his bonus versus large, which he has like a shit ton of. I forget how much. But yeah, he's just crumping him. 28 bonus versus large, so that makes his melee attack more in the realm of like 96. Pretty good. Pretty good. Mazda Mundi is down and out. Apotheosis upgraded will not save you from death as Kolek's about to chase you off this map. 193 health, getting poked down a little bit by Marauder Horseman, and Kolek clubs him to death. Bounce power shifts pretty heavily into the favor of Chaos. And it's looking a little bad. Kolek's no spring chicken either. Not loving his life right now, but even if he dies, I mean... Okay, Chaos might be in a little bit of trouble if he dies. I just realized there are 3 Chameleon Skinks and not a whole lot to chase them down. Yeah, there are shielded Chosen. Yeah, Chaos got this. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. Kolek's routing, but he'll come back. They always come back. And the Ark of Sotek has an ability where if it can launch out its little sneaky snakes, they can kill a lot of infantry around them, but we still have a Chaos Sorcerer, and they have pretty good melee stats, 42-45 with 268 weapon strength, ain't nothing to sneeze at either. Marauder Horsemen have, not a lot of ammunition left. They'll probably want to shoot at the Saurus, or run down the Chameleon Skinks. Not sure. Big JP's fighting it out, as is his birthright. Charging into melee with Chosen with Chameleon Skinks, though. It's not the best at the moment. 120 armor, 4660 for melee stats on those guys. Chosen are pretty beefy. Marauder Horsemen might just want to get into melee combat with the Chameleon Skinks, knock some of them out. Don't really try to outshoot them, because you won't. And if this Ark of Sotek... Ooh, this is the Solar Engine. If the Solar Engine breaks, this game's 100% over into Army Losses territory. Kolek gets a big swing onto it. I'm kind of surprised his leadership stabilized from that. Kolek's really close to dead as well. Standard Die is keeping him in this fight, and he does rout it, and immediately Army Losses hits. Without the big dinos. Overcast Apotheosis only gives more range. I believe that is true. Marauder PP at work. You love Archie and the Shaggoth combo here. Archeon is quite good, but I always love Kolek Sun Eater just because he's cool. 2,600 on him. Chaos Warriors with great weapons got good value. Chosen did fine as well. And Marauder Horsemen did pretty great. For Big JP, Mazda Mundi did fine. Saurus took a beating. Skink Javs did okay. Chameleon Skinks did fine. And the big dinos did fine. So it was mostly the Saurus that unfortunately could not hold their weight. GG, well played. Our other semifinal is ready for us, so we will head right over there with Moore and John FB. FB? I'm paranoid now. Moore and John. Fair enough. It is FB. I was right the first time. Never doubt yourself, kids. Never doubt yourself. I am here. You may start whenever. This is the other semifinal. We are rocking and rolling. It would appear AC Moore has defeated our good friend and colleague Stormrunner. We love Stormrunner in this house. They had not picked armies yet, so it looks like we're coming in on the tail end of pick and ban phase. Moore is going to go Tomb Kings, and John FB will go Skaven. He is another Skaven main. You love to see it. You love to see the rats at all times, every day. This can be a tough matchup for the Skaven if you don't know what you're doing. If you know... Well, I shouldn't say if you know. The builds I usually run, it feels pretty advantaged for the Skaven, but most matchups feel advantaged for the Skaven, in my opinion. God, I miss being good at a faction. You have no idea, dude. With Game 3, everybody figuring shit out, that's nice, but it was really fun to be good at a faction that everybody thought was bad. Because I was confident in every matchup by the end of Game 2. Oh, I miss the rats. I miss them. Miss them, miss them, miss them. Alright. Kolek be clubbing. Cool for the art of Sotek, but that's a Soul Engine. Yeah, I always get those two confused because they look pretty similar. You like Double Dog here, they maul skinks. Dogs are very good. Especially in case of Oxyotl, they can wreck him pretty good. Just like my lore knowledge, I don't have lore knowledge. JP probably wanted too mixed in his build. I could agree. You and Moore just spent most of the time talking about the innovation that is in-game chat. Yeah, it's pretty wild having in-game chat. It's a miracle of science. Is Legions of Chaos going to be banned from multiplayer tournaments? As of right now, yes. I don't know how long-term that'll be. Maybe they'll eventually be allowed. I don't know. Who still plays this dead game? Hi, Bob, man. It was voted on by the community, so that's where we are. Skaven bad? Were we playing the same game? Hey, man. Not a lot of people played Skaven. Not a lot of people played Skaven. They were very rare. Never saw... You saw Warriors of Chaos, Wood Elves, Dark Elves, Beastmen at the end. You didn't see a lot of Skaven. Alright? Can't gaslight me into thinking Skaven were a popular faction at the end of Warhammer 2. Get out of here. Had one of the lowest play rates in the game. Get out of here. Oh, shit. Yep. Move the wrong thing. There we go. Some of us like the old factions. I'll uninstall when we get some Immortal Empires. Yeah, I need Immortal Empires in my life. Okay. John FB going with the bold strat of not doing a human boy build exactly copy-pasted. Iked Zap Zap is a good Warp Lightning Cannon to use. We have the Grey Seer of Plague with Dreaded 13th and the other Clan Rat Summon. We have 2 Assassins, both with Assassin's Trophy, both with Rival High Talisman. 4 Skaven Slaves, 5 Clan Rats with Spears and Shields, 1 Poisonman Globe, 2 Jezzails, and 4 meaty, thick, chunky Rat Ogres. On the side of AC Moore and his Tomb Kings, we have Skeleton Spearmen, Skeleton Warriors spread throughout the front line. You should not see any Tomb Guard here, and thankfully there are none. They don't do anything here. 4 Skeleton Horse Archers, 3 Chariots, 4 Nehekara Horsemen as well, 1 Tomb Scorpion, and a big ol' Arc in the Black. It's pretty good, pretty standard Tomb King build. That's why the 4 Rat Ogres will shine. I also like a couple of the magic damage dealing Wolf Rats because they have really good armor piercing values. And they're pretty good at chasing down chariots and keeping on top of them. Now, the Jezzails will do well also, but the biggest problem is keeping them alive from all the chariots. So those Rat Ogres are going to have to put in some overtime to keep them going. Makes sense, I hope. Yes, we all hate Skaven deep down. You're allowed to think that. Makes sense, I hope. Mono Gods get the Demon Princes at least. Yeah. Atlas, Norska will never get love. Never. Not popular, but good. I would agree to that. I just think a lot of people didn't know how good Skaven were because they didn't know how to play them right. 1 or 2 unless Warhammer 3 gets refined to a good point a year or less. Game 4. Bobman misses good maps. Well, Bobman, you should have played. There aren't any trees in the way, so it's nice. Yeah. There's actually a good mix of maps besides Game 3 where it's just medium small map with trees on it. Hank Cyrus, you have a good night. Jeremy, I also hope for the Chaos Dwarf days. That will be good. I can't copy paste from 2 and 3, whatever they need, or get PP'd by the skirmish cav. Sometimes I feel like I should time out Bobman just because of the father-son thing. Alright, we're caught up on chat. We can move forward. So, Skaven box has happened. Excuse me, I don't think it's exactly needed against the Tomb Kings. You could go a little wider, pull this guy to that line, and then pull this guy out here a little bit. You have some infantry support in the back, pull these guys up a little bit. Because the problem with the Tomb King's flank is that infantry isn't going to help you very much. The chariots are going to go wherever they please, so that's not going to hold off anything. And there's no stalked or vanguard units you have to worry about at this point, so you should just get a wider front line, in my opinion. Skaven slaves can hold up pretty well against skeleton warriors and skeleton spearmen because the Tomb King's infantry is strangely terrible at everything. But they will eventually fall apart, and you'll want a clan rat ready to be there. Clan rat or 2. So you just keep 1 right on top of the Warp Lightning Cannon to stop skeleton horsemen from sprinting in freely, but you don't... Like, what are you protecting from this angle of attack? You're protecting a Rat Ogre that it can protect itself. From this angle attack, it's too much space to cover with too few of things. Probably just put a Clan Rat Spears here, like this one. And then you can do whatever you want with these 2 units. Maybe. Warp Lightning Cannon is focusing down Arc in the Black. That is smart. Make your opponent either constantly dodge or just take some free damage on their caster. Also, it could zap. The RO Warp Lightning Cannon has the annoying ability where if it hits you, you get plus 15 seconds to all your cooldowns, meaning Arc in the Black will have a harder time casting his spells, summons, Arcane Conduit, whatever. Whatever. Chariots are running through the front line, going brrr, killing lots of things. Rat Ogres do need to be activated to go kill them. It looks like 2 are being ordered straight up there. Maybe want to keep 1 back in case of problems, but we will see. Jezzails are having a hard time shooting anything. Their sight lines are a little impeded, much like the Crane Gunners in the current game. But they turn around and start firing at the skirmish cav that is way out in the open. You can see Jezzails do incredible damage when they are allowed to fire. Arc in the Black taking a massive shot in the face from the good old Ikit's Zap Zap. And where? I heard the ding ding. I saw a Scourge, but is that a Dreaded 13th? No, it's a Clan Rat summon. Okay. Holding on to the Dreaded 13th for now. He might need it soon. I want to drop it right here on top of his Warplock Jezzails. It will not do that much damage to them. It will do a lot of damage to the Nekar Horseman, but instead he's going to drop it on the front line. I disagree with this. I do not think killing Skeleton Spearman with the Dreaded 13th was worth it. Personally, probably wait for one of the horsemen to do that sort of thing. Grey Seer's running around trying to keep the Nekar Horseman off, but the Warplock Jezzails are fully shut down at this point. They are not able to shoot anything. Ushapti summon from the Tomb Kings comes in the middle of the formation to cause even more havoc and route some things off. Arc in the Black is very, very low from getting shot by the Ikit Zap Zap. And with the Ushapti summon out, that means all 3 Realms of Souls have been used. Arc in the Black will get no more healing for the rest of this game. Skeleton Horse Archers are trying to shoot down the Ikit Zap Zap cannon before it finishes off Arc in the Black. He is getting very close to dead. But hanging in there so far. Assassins, I don't know if they popped the Rival Hide Talismans, but they might want to if they haven't already. Skaven are slightly ahead on the balance of power, but there are a lot of summons on the field, including a Storm Vermin summon. So in truth, they're probably a little bit behind. Rat Ogres stuck up in some skeleton spears, also fighting Nakar horsemen, which is pretty good for them. And it gets zap zap. I don't see its flag over the model itself, so yes, they are retreating, which is bad. Ark in the Black is not dead, and if he's not dead, it doesn't matter. He doesn't care if he has full health, he just cares if he's alive. Assassins, Rat Ogres, all these sorts of things trying to fight in the center. Assassin's Trophy is popped onto Ark in the Black, who had Rat Ogres chasing him, but they will get peeled off by some Nehekar horsemen, which is a fine trade for the Skaven either way. They kind of want to fight either the horseman or Ark in the Black. They will take anything they can get. Ika Zap Zap crew is ordered to fight Skeleton Horse Archers. Oh no, the Skeleton Horse Archers are ordered to fight them. Yeah, that makes a little bit more sense. Before they can get back to their mounts. Now the Skirmish Cav are doing well. That's going to be a beautiful scorch down the line. Now that's a lot of damage. One of those Skeleton Spearmen is about to crumble away into nothingness. The other one is just taking a bit of damage. Ushapti summon has faded for the Tomb Kings, leaving the Skaven still slightly ahead in the balance of power. They have plenty of Rat Ogres. Plenty of Rat Ogres, a very healthy Grey Seer, and 2 quite healthy Assassins. For the Tomb Kings, bounce of power evens up just a little bit as they have 4 Skirmish Cav, 1 Chariot. The other Chariot is so dead I'm not even going to count it as a full Chariot, and some Nakar Horsemen are currently committing to the fight and will soon suffer a terrible fate, because I think there's another Dreaded 13th pretty soon. Gotta be soon. He's only cast 1 of those things. More Rat Ogres are back. It could Zap Zap is never coming home. They are getting run off the battlefield, so that's a little unfortunate. And the inability to finish off Ark in the Black is brutal. I hate when that happens. You hate to see it. If you get the number of DLCs Skaven had, it's hard to be bad. Dude, Lizardmen had all the DLCs in the world, and for the longest time, their base game units were the only good units. A lot of their DLCs sucked. I played Skaven against a friend after all the DLC out. Their guns were gunned to be shot at. Gotcha. Hey, Strat Game, how you doing, dude? How you doing? Another Spirit Leech onto the Grey Seer, plus all the Skirmish Cav fire. Really trying to take him down, but Grey Seers are the only tanky lord the Skavens have. And they're doing their work. Double Assassin's still out here. And I mean, these Skeleton Horse Archers are getting close to running out of ammo. And there's got to be a second Dreaded 13th in the pocket. There's no way he doesn't have enough mana for it. I haven't seen a lot of Clan Rat summons, and I only saw 1 Dreaded 13th itself. So his mana's up there. And he honestly might want to use it soon, because he's getting whittled down. There it is. Wow, that's just a Clan Rat summon yet again. Really patient play from John FB. We'll see if it's too patient, but only time will tell. More Rat Ogres, more summons, more things running around, and now the Horse Archers are screened off by the Clan Rats and some of the returning Rat Ogres. And that gives our friends the Skaven just a little bit of time to rally and try to kill these Chariots. 1 last Spirit Leech onto the Grey Seer. He has a little bit of magic resist, but it's not that much, and now that he is routing the skeleton... the Nehekara horsemen will follow him off the battlefield. Rat Ogres are trying to peel, but I don't think he's coming back. Only 63 health. His leadership is getting back up there. 22. 1 more hit will kill him, and 3, 2, 1, dead. Got him. That prediction was pretty close, you gotta admit. Come on. Come on. That was pretty close. We are down to 2 assassins and a summon. The summon will fade any day now. And I sense a lot of cycle charging in our future. Sorry, Tyrant Tower. I meant it wasn't fun to be shot at by the DLC Skaven as Empire. Fair enough. I did mention earlier in the day why I don't take assassins here. It's because they're just going to get Spirit Leeched by Arkin the Dank Memer. And they will break now. It was a close game from both players. Rip. A faster game than Total Warhammer 3? Nah, dude. Nah, you're right though. It is. Assassins struggle to pay for themselves. Grey Seer did his best. Clan Rats did okay. Poisonman Globes got shut down. Gisele's also got shut down. Rat Ogres put in the work of the gods. And Naked Zap Zap did great. For more, Arkin did fine. Spent most of his game getting shot in the head. Nehekar Horseman got pretty good values for the one that literally got 0. Chariots did okay. Skeleton Horse Archers did okay. And the Tomb Scorpion got murked. Skaven is a bad factions. Lols, you're a bad factions. Lols. Not every game in game 2. Not every faction in game 2 ends in a chariot blob, Bob, man. Stupid chariot blobs. Stupid healing chariot blobs. Vermin Lords when in Warhammer 3? Don't know. I don't think the Skaven will get a DLC for a while. There's been a lot of rumors of Thankful, but I don't know. I don't know. Remember when I kept beating you as Wood Elves into Skaven? I feel like I beat a couple of your Wood Elf builds as Skaven. I know I beat a couple of your Chaos builds as Skaven. I'm forgetting about High Elves. No, it was only RTK that really did that Chariot Blob, and Anticity beat it multiple times. A lot of higher level players could beat it. The Chariot builds in Warhammer 2 were only super oppressive to lower level players. Like, most other people could beat them pretty effectively. No, not as every faction, obviously. Like, Dwarves had problems with chariots, but that's because they're supposed to. Most chariots are armor-piercing anti-infantry, so you'd kind of hope that a fully armored infantry faction would hate chariots. But, no. No, the chariot blob meta really didn't catch on in Warhammer 2, and then they got limited by the rules anyway, so it happened. VC Empire. Dark Elves is the immediate counter pick, and more is going to hover Empire. With all those greater demons around, Vermin Lord is only natural. Is a Vermin Lord natural? Queek turns into a Vermin Lord, but then Queek couldn't be in the game at the same time. It's a good thing that just mass chariots was still the meta. I miss my chariots. The funny thing is, straight through my corn. Yeah. Sorry, I was reading a comment. More did in fact go Empire. It's Empire versus Dark Elves. You're seeing this matchup a lot towards the end of Warhammer 2. It's decently even. Now chariots are limited by the map in Warhammer 3. Yeah, if you go off any of those rice patties, the 50% chance of one of them dying. Remember when you played Skaven into Wood Elves and got super salty? That was good times. Yeah. Wood Elves are super toxic for Skaven to deal with. Super toxic. I don't like Skaven, but it seems natural that they would. I love Skaven. I think they're great. I'm a big fan of Skavinos. I did get rid of the blocker, right? Yep. Okay. It's just the delay is messing with me. Okay. For John FB and his Dark Elves, it looks like we have 2 Dark Shards, bunch of Bleak Swords, Dread Spears, Bleak Swords, Dread Spears, 1 Witch Elf for some Rampage support, Dark Riders with Shields, 2 Cold One Knights as well, and in the sky, Marathi and double Manticore. Marathi only has Soulstealer, Wand of Crydon, Tormentor, Tormentor's Mask or something? It's Tormentor's Sword and the Heartstealer's Mask, right? Enchanting Beauty, Heartrender, and the Dark Sword. Shit. It's been a while. On the Empire side, for more, we have a Light Wizard with Shem's Burning Gaze, an Amethyst Wizard with Spirit Leech, Marcus Wolfheart in the front line with his Net and the Amber Bow, Swordsman ROR, Swordsman, Spearman. We have 1 Huntsman, 2 Huntsmen, and then a shitload of Cav. Good God. 3 Pistoliers, 3 Knights of the Blazing Sun. That's pretty nice. Okay. Both sides want to push up a fair amount. Cav fight will probably go to the Empire with 3 Knights of the Blazing Sun. Wait, is it 4? Jesus Christ. 4 Knights of the Blazing Sun. Yeah, they'll win the Cav fight. Dark Elves will probably, hopefully, win the infantry fight. They also have a little bit more firepower in triple Dark Shard versus 2 Huntsmen. Oh, it's only 2 Dark Shards. Okay, firepower is about even, though they are shielded. Yeah, Dark Elves will have to rely on their infantry, and then obviously Morathi Double Manticore is kind of uncontested. Empire doesn't really have any single entity monsters to deal with. But Manticores do not like getting surrounded by heavy cavalry and beaten to death. So there's that. I think the Empire has a pretty good build here. Could see them winning it all. I can't tell if my game's super quiet or what's going on. I'm going to bump up the volume even more. Not compared to you guys, just like my version of the volume. If the game is super quiet for you, let me know, and I can actually turn it up. Go, Dark Elves, go! And then run away. Dark Elves are reforming their lines to be a little more straight on with the Empire. Meanwhile, their Pistoliers fucking around in the back. Maybe send a Dark Rider with shields after him. Or 2. What's their speed? 90. Yours is 92. Technically, you could catch him. But mostly it's to distract him. And we will be seeing that. So 2 Dark Riders are sacrificed. 1,000 gold value versus 1,500. It's worthwhile just to keep them busy. Though even with shields, the Pistoliers are doing a lot of damage to those poor guys. Meanwhile, the frontline fight. Dreadspears are finally getting involved. Shrim's Burning Gaze probably thrown in a Manticore to try and rampage it, most likely. Man, he's taking a sweet time to cast that. There we go. Smacks it in the face, does a little bit of damage, doesn't quite rampage just yet. Colden Knights are thinking about charging in, but they should be careful with that many Knights of the Blazing Sun waiting, and they will turn around, decide against it. Dark Shards are doing a good number on one of the Huntsmen, the other Huntsman not as much, and one of the Manticores is going to be rampaged right away. Plow straight into some Swordsmen. Decent enough. Colden Knights are now trying to make their way up through the front, but there are so many Knights of the Blazing Sun just waiting for them on the backside. It could be a little difficult. Hunter's Snare does stop the Manticore and Morathi from landing onto Marcus Wolfheart, and they will be forced into the sky. I could see a Soul Stealer right about here, hitting two different Knights of the Blazing Sun, but maybe they will hold it since Knights of the Blazing Sun have a little bit of magic resist to them. Pistoliers have arrived at the backside. They will be charging these Dark Shards in melee. It looks like the Dark Riders with shields are going to try and catch them in the act while they do it. Meanwhile, Colden Knights and the Manticore stuck on the ground versus a lot of Knights of the Blazing Sun. That is going extremely poorly for them, and now it is up to the Manticore and Morathi to take out Marcus Wolfheart to make the trades worth it. But so far, the initial fight is going quite well for the Empire. They have lost some state troops, to be fair, and both their Huntsmen were running for a bit, but the Knights of the Blazing Sun are all so healthy, I don't know if it matters. Also, Marcus is vibing. Characters are still hard to kill, even in this version of the game. Pistolier still kiting out the Dark Riders with shields, that is fine, and this full health Colden Knight probably needs to come back to the actual fight and not spend his time chasing around Pistoliers it can't catch. That would be a waste of its talents. It does need to go fight more Knights of the Blazing Sun. Morathi is now surrounded, though she does lower the stats of everything around her, meaning these Knights of the Blazing Sun only have, 20 melee attack, and they're currently rampaging. Not sure what causes them to rampage. It's, the Witch Elves. Gotcha. And they'll tear her out. Good for them. Marcus Wolfheart has lost about a third of his HP to Manticores, and the Light Wizard will as well. This is a big rout for the Dark Elves. If they can get Marcus routing, if they can get the Wizards routing, and some of these, they got the Death Mage, they got these Knights of the Blazing Sun. If they can get all this stuff routing and then chase it off the map, that'll be pretty huge. Quick little Soul Stealer in to hurt Marcus Wolfheart some more, and these Knights of the Blazing Sun. Morathi is somewhere. There she is, chasing off the Light Wizard. Marcus Wolfheart throws out yet another net, hitting some of the Witch Elves and some of the Hellebronai. It does appear. Though they don't have the little icon over them, so I don't think they were actually netted. I think it was just a visual thing. Morathi's still chasing after Marcus. Gets a little rear charge, but misses the attack, and she is going to get attacked by Knights of the Blazing Sun. She'll have to be careful about that. Probably wants to get off the ground, but instead is going to stand and fight. Manticores might have to dive in and help her. On the backside, Pistoliers are mopping up a decent amount of routing units. But there are still some Dark Shards and, Dark Riders back there to deal with them. Marathi getting picked on by Knights of the Blazing Sun, not having a good time at all, falling very, very low. If she can get a Soul Stealer out and try to heal herself up, that would be pretty big. But both these guys terror-outed recently, so they won't terror-out again from the Manticore, I don't think. Though a natural break could occur. And there is the big Soul Stealer we're talking about. Marathi really, really needs that healing to get her back into this game. A quick Amber Bow will take out one of the Manticore's. Brutal stuff there from Marcus Wolfhard. The Soul Stealer doing a little bit of damage to him. Once again, both Knights of the Blazing Sun are going to rout, but Marathi is very, very low. Empire is far behind on the balance of power. But I don't think they have enough to really stop the Dark Elves. But oh my god! Okay, Marcus shoots her, then a Spirit Leech, then a Shem's Burning Gaze, all piling onto Marathi, really lowering it down and dragging the balance of power back to about even. Marathi is running for the hills, just out of Marcus Wolfhart's range at this point, but a Doom Bolt from out of nowhere that must have been cast earlier from Marathi. There's no way she got it off just now. Does a good amount of damage to him. Manticore hits him with a charge on the way. He's a foot character. He's very hard to hit, but it did clench out that one before it gets swarmed by cavalry and will get pushed off the field. Once again, the Dark Elves are in ascendancy on the balance of power. Marathi is back, barely hanging on to her leadership. She should just stay back there until she has another Soul Stealer to heal up or something. Let her infantry carry the rest of this one. She still has a Cold One Knight. Very healthy Cold One Knight. That is going to single-handedly carry this game for the Dark Elves. There's no way that that thing dies at this point. A half-health Dark Rider, 2 Dark Shards with a lot of ammunition and a decent amount of health, and some spears and dread spears. But again, that full health Golden Knight is really going to carry this game across the finish line. You know, you haven't played much multiplayer, but the feeling Gelt isn't very viable at high levels. That is correct. Balthasar Gelt is not extremely viable at high levels. A lot of Marcus Wolfhard in the later days, not as much Volkmar, but Volkmar's still very good. He dominated for quite a long time. Support Luminarch. Luminarchs aren't good. I wouldn't say horrible, because they were kind of good in the later stages of Warhammer 2, but like, they're always extremely niche and very janky. Volkmar, but magic. You like chariots for casters? Chariots are pretty good. Very mobile. They can get surrounded by heavy cav and killed, though. So that's something to be careful of. Wolfhart's doing his best. I do think this is the end of Moore. Cold One Knight should probably just sprint in there and get it over with. It looks like they're kind of doing that now. A little bit. Knocking the Light Wizard back, knocking Marcus Wolfhart back. They will soon rout them and trigger the army losses. And Sigmar Sons are unbreakable, so they'll fight to the very end, but there's no way they can beat all this stuff. Army losses has hit at last, and we are going to Game 3 between Moore and John FB. The problem with Gelt has more to do with the lore of metal than anything. Lore of metal is kind of niche. It is kind of niche, but also, like, even when you want it as the Empire, you're still very hesitant to take Gelt. Because they need to take a second caster just to heal him in case he gets injured. Good damage spread across AC Moore's army for John FB. Marathi and one of the Manticores did well. The other Manticore got dumped on. Witch Elves did fine. Dark Shards did great. Dark Riders with shields did fine. And Cold Knights did okay. Never take the Luminarchs. They take so long to fire. Just take cannons instead. Most of the time. No. Most of the time. I had a couple Luminarchs builds I liked against Torix the Brass Bull, but that's about it. Ah! The yawns. The yawns keep coming, and they just keep coming. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Lizardmen, Dwarves, and Empire ban Wood Elves. More could just go Beastmen, ban Empire. That'd probably be the best way to go about it. Ah! Stop yawning! Stop it! I have to work out after this too. Gross. What day is it? Is it Wednesday? Okay, cool. Thursday, and then I have that, and then I have that. But I do have that, but I don't have that. And then Friday I have that, but then I have this, and then I have that. Perfect. Moore is taking vampire counts, banning Lizardmen, and John FB is going to go Dwarves. Dwarves versus vampire counts feels very bad for the vampire counts, but we're going for it. And Moore's build is pretty good from what I could see behind the blocker. It's pretty good. About as efficient as you can get versus the Dwarves. The problem is the matchup's so bad. So, we'll see. Both will get missile mirrored when they see Cathay. Final transmutation can end a game in a single task cast if the enemy blobs too much. Speaking of Empire, is it just weird? It's just weird to me the Empire doesn't have characters on Demigryph for captains or other heroes or mounts. You know, I haven't honestly ever thought about that, and you're right. That is kind of weird. That is kind of weird. Cyrus, that is a rather muscular man. Got it, Rat Boy. I'm tuning out. Cyrus, didn't you say you had to go to bed like 25 years ago? Go to bed. Go to bed, you rascal. Alrighty, for AC Moore, we do have Heinrich Kemmler in the trees, double corpse cart to support the front line. We have 2 Graveguard with great weapons, maybe more. It's hard to tell where he put them all. Yeah, we have 3 Graveguard with great weapons, 4 Skeleton Warriors. I thought I saw normal Graveguard somewhere. There's normal Graveguard mixed in with zombies and Skeleton Warriors. There we go. Heinrich Kemmler, 1 Vargulf, 2 corpse carts. No White Kings. For the Dwarves, there it is. It's Thoric Ironbrow, Double Thane, the brutal technology that has carried me to many a victory. Iron Drakes, Trollhammer torpedoes, Norgums, Ironbreakers, and Ironbreakers. We have the Dragonback Slayers, Longgrids with great weapons, Dwarf Warriors with great weapons, and a front line of Longgrids with great weapons. Plus the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass. Does one of the Thanes have the Fire Ring of Thori? Yep. One of them does, giving everything around it fire weakness, which the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass will use effectively. Rune of Doom, Rune of Wrath and Ruin, Rune of Speed, all very good. This is actually very similar, if not exactly my build as Dwarves versus Vampire counts. It works wonders. We'll see how it goes this time. We will see how it goes here. The Demigryph thingy now is much more obvious looking at Kislev than anyone and their mother can take a bear mount. It is true. Ding. Alright, let's get in there, Dragonback Slayers, you crazy little bastards. They're so pale. Look at how pale they are. These guys have never seen the sun in their life. Jesus. Both sides will advance slowly. Moore wants to focus on getting a big, awful surround. And the Dwarves just want to get in range of their Trollhammer torpedoes so they can start pew-pewing. Gotta love Dwarves. So static to play in multiplayer. It helps you as a weeb who wants to work out. I don't want to work out, I do work out. You'd rather they just remove some bear mounts. They went way too overboard on the bears for Kislev. I mean, that's kind of their thing. I don't think the bears are that oppressive. It's the foot patriarchs are the hard ones to kill. The bears aren't that big of a deal. It actually makes them easier to kill in a lot of instances. Because foot characters are way too fucking tanky. Both in Game 2 and Game 3. Ah! I need to stop. Stop yawning. Dwarves are moving up. Slowly. Patiently. Moore's getting a good surround and it's just taking low. I feel like these units are much faster. Like, even the 27 speed Graveguard feel like they're covering more ground than the Game 3 factions do. Like, imagine how long this setup would take in Game 3. It's already almost over, and we're 2 minutes into this. Jesus. Not the game's almost over, but, like, the setup, the surround and stuff. Trollhammers are in range, if they wanted to. Start firing at stuff they could. I personally would take some of the free shots that you can, especially against the Graveguard. It looks like that's what they're trying to fire at. But they get cut off. Maybe you want to switch on to Heinrich Kemmler now that he's caught up in your guys a little bit. And they do, deleting him. Oh, Heinrich Kemmler, the little thing's in the way, but look at him. He's at half health. And Thoric Double Thane is going to run in onto him now. They will block their own shots from the Trollhammer torpedoes. They won't be able to do much damage. But Thoric Double Thane taking down Heinrich Kemmler. He's going to have to burn a bunch of healing on himself, which he can't even cast when he's negative, and he is going to run away now. Thoric pushes through the front line, but cannot catch up to him. That is a huge loss. You can see his healing cap's already within sight, and the game just started. That is brutal. On the far side, zombies fighting the Norgrimlings Ironbreakers, who are already using some of the blasting charges on the zombies and the Graveguard with great weapons. Good for them, that's pretty neato. But Heinrich Kemmler suffering a huge blow, and then he even takes a little bit of overcast damage from doing that too near to Thoric. Now what sucks for him is he wants to be close by to his front line that's fighting for Undeath Resurgent and for the Chaos Tombblade, which now he can't sit in combat up there because he's so worried about fucking dying. Gonna sleep, take care, man. Rest a bit later. You also have a great night, Miguel. Kislev loves bears more than Space Wolves love wolves, and that's saying something. Alright, fine. They can chill out a little bit. Longbit's great weapons are having a bad time against Graveguard with their own great weapons. And these Trollhammer torpedoes probably want to form more into a little bit of, like, a tighter formation. The straight line takes them so long to turn and fight anything. One Corpse Cart is going to run into a Thane plus the Dragonback Slayers. It will not love that, and it will get chewed apart. Dwarves are slightly ahead on the balance of power. I would agree. This is going pretty okay for them so far, though the backline of the box has fallen apart slightly. I don't know if I've seen a Rune of Doom yet. I wonder if it's been popped, and if it hasn't, it should probably be. One Longbeard with great weapons is gone. The Corpse Cart is also gone, though. And these Trollhammer torpedoes are still having a tough time firing. Really need to get them into a tighter formation somewhere and not out in a straight line. Skeleton Warriors are going to stop them from reforming, however. And Graveguard is still bumping and grinding against Longbeards. More Graveguard, Corpse Cart. And where is Kemmler? Kemmler is pretty healthy, with the caveat that he can't heal much more than that ever again. Thoric Double Thane's going to have to do some good work. Dragonback Slayers are already doing good work, chopping through a ton of zombies and Skeleton Warriors. I feel like the formation was a little wide from the Dwarves, and the Ironbreakers have spent most of their game just running around. After their initial really good shot onto Kemmler, they haven't been able to do very much other than run around. Kemmler's back. He is now applying his Chaos Tombblade to some of his warriors, though he does give himself some overcast damage from casting it too close to Thoric yet again. I don't know what he was casting, but I really hope it was worth it. He's throwing out another Invocation to Heck, giving himself more overcast damage. He needs to cool it on that stuff. He's getting Kemmler very, very low. Iron Drake's Trollhammer torpedoes are going into melee with a Graveguard. That is definitely a mistake, and they are now getting pulled away. There's a pocket in the center they could stand in, and again, I really want their formation to be like 3 deep so that they can just turn easily and get their shots off, especially with the hopes of hitting Kemmler. They get some really good fire on him as he's leaving. He is officially heal capped. No, his numbers are still going up, but the heal cap is right there, so he can't take much more of this. And now these Trollhammers do need to turn and probably fire at the Vargulf or fire at some of these Graveguard. They really do have to start taking care of some of the Graveguard as more and more of their Dwarven friends die. Good shots onto the Vargulf. Vargulf is now running straight at them. They should have stood and shot there. Could have done a lot of damage to him. Now they're just kind of half-assed running away from something with like 80 speed, so there's no way they're getting away from that. And Thoric Double Thane think about coming over and talking to that Vargulf, which is fine. Master Rune of Speed. I still haven't seen a Rune of Wrath and Ruin in a very long time, so I'm kind of worried that just doesn't exist. There we go. Kemmler is officially healing capped at 1547. Glorious. Dwarves are equal-ish on the balance power, maybe a little bit ahead. Maybe, and the vampire counts are running out of juice. One Graveguard's great weapon is crumbling. There's another Graveguard with great weapons. That is fine. Graveguard, Graveguard, Graveguard. Graveguard everywhere. But Thoric's healthy. Both his Thanes are healthy. And they do have a lot of wave clear in their capacity. Thoric Double Thane trying to keep these Troll Hammers alive. There are 5 of them left. Graveguard with great weapons running straight up onto them, but it looks like the Thane and Thoric rear charging will finish them off. Also plus crumbling, and all 5 of the Troll Hammers stay alive. They could pivot and shoot. Probably want to start doing some of that stuff. Kemmler throws out another heal hurting himself. Yet another 400 damage. Don't know if that's worth it. Grumbly Guard are still here fighting. Longbrid's great weapon still here fighting. And Thoric and Double Thane are going to charge into some of these Graveguard and Skeleton Warriors, causing them to get a little low. Everything is routing for the Dwarves, except for some Dwarf Warriors with great weapons that have rallied. The Grumbling Guard, the last of the Dragonback Slayers, the literal one last guy. And that single Trollhammer Torpedo is also routing. I haven't seen Krell be summoned yet. Actually, if Moore is just holding that until the late game, now is a pretty good time. Hey, there he is. Called it. Rune of Wrath and Ruin does a little bit more damage to the Graveguard with great weapons. Thoric is here. Undeath Resurgent, giving the Vargulf 66 melee defense. This Thane is probably going to terror out soon. Oh, he's ITP. Thoric must have the ITP aura, which it looks like he does. If you have your buffs up as Thoric, it's probably better if you just stand here and kill Krell with Thoric Double Thane. The last Trollhammer Torpedo is waltzing. Yeah, sure, he's waltzing. Waltzing back into the fray. And Krell is still chasing down Thoric. And Krell lasts so long, you just have to turn and fight him, unfortunately. You can't run away forever as Thoric. It's not worth your time. Just going to get hit in the back. Dwarf Warrior with great weapons trying to join in. The singular Trollhammer just decking the Vargulf. You'll love to see it. Meanwhile, Kemmler hasn't cast another spell. It looks like, oh my god, just as I said, he'd cast a spell on himself. Alright, down to 800 health. Cool, cool. Last Trollhammer Torpedo fights to the death and does in fact die. And Krell gets mucked up in some Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. Graveguard fighting Thoric. Thoric's leadership getting a little low. A little teensy bit low. We have one Graveguard that is crumbling, one that is fine, another that is okay, but not great weapons. The Vargulf, Super Dead Kemmler, and a returning Norgum's Ironbreaker. This is close. I think the Counts probably have it, mostly due to Krell, who is still chasing around Thoric. He's not even that close to de-summoning, is he? Oh, he's getting there, I guess. Graveguard to pile in onto Thoric. Krell gets another hit. Running away from him, it just isn't really working. He's going to turn and fight a Thane, I guess. Misses that attack. It's good for the Thane. Still hanging in there, still crumbling. Is that a Rune of Speed? Yes. Rune of Speed, giving everybody melee attack. Trying to help out these Thanes. We're still fighting Krell. Krell is maybe going to fade. Watch as he doesn't even fade. Watch as his timer resets or something. Something crazy. Thoric's running away. Rune of Speed actually making him outrun Krell. And Krell's time is up. Nope. He's just starting to crumble now. Just starting to de-summon. So that's the sad part. Oof. Tough time for the Dwarves. Well played. Well played by both players. It looks like Moore had definitely played that matchup before. Trollhammers, I would just say, have them in a closer to like a square formation so that they can turn and fire quicker. Them being spread out in a line, they just took forever to turn and shoot at anything. Aside from that, I didn't see many Rune of Dooms, but maybe I just missed them. And then when Krell was summoned, you just got to pop Rune of Doom and Rune of Speed on yourself. Give yourself all the stats and just turn and fight him with Thoric Double Thane and kill him, because you can't outrun him, unfortunately. He will just chase you forever. Forever. Good to see John FB, though. Good to see him. Love that guy. I was tilted. Moore was apparently tilted, but it turned out fine. So, we need to get Blood Penguin in here. At least they were close. They were close. They were close indeed. Cello just being difficult as usual. Okay, now finally updated. Oh, right. Good luck for the finals. KK. Where's Blood? I don't know what John FB's picture is, but it scares me. Alright, Plague Penguin, invite to lobby. Update the scoreboard. Update the scoreboard, get the blocker back here. Blood Penguin's here now. Oop. Blood Penguin immediately hovers Dwarves. As is his birthright. 0-0 best of 5 final, and then we will call it a day on the second stream, and I can do some other stuff. Do some other things. More is first. BO5. It's Homer Simpson. It was very far away. I just saw, like, it looked honestly like an upside down saxophone. Mr. FB. Mr. FB. It's weird to cast Skaven games. Oh, it's the back of his head. Gotcha, gotcha. Tomb King's vampire counts. Gotta love him some undead. Blood Penguin immediately goes Dwarves. Moore's probably just going to stay vampire counts then. Probably. What am I doing tomorrow? I have a meeting at 2. Okay, I don't have any machine time until possibly that night. Gross. Gross. Thanks for having a tournament at this time. It's nice to be able to play in them. Hell yeah, dude. I usually try to do one European, one North American, one European, one North American, and flip back and forth. Usually the North Americans don't have great participation, but this one was on par with the one in the EU time zone today. Just, I don't know. I'm going out of town for Grace's cousin's wedding Friday, and I'll be back Sunday, but then I have to work. And I have a stream Monday, but it's an interview with Random Nick, so it'll be a while till I have a tournament again. Which it seems like it's okay, because participation's been pretty low. Caught up with Grace's family Snapchat to see if there's anything I particularly should have been paying attention to. And the answer was no. We're also getting into our first game, which looks a lot like our last game. Dwarves counts. What if Skaven come out and they're just a terrible version of Cathay? I'll still play them. I'll still play the shit out of them. I'll just be sad. It's the magical disappearing fire. I'd play my schedule as unreliable and antisocial. Well, shit. Okay. For Blood Penguin, we have Thoric, Double Master Engineer, both with Fiery Ring, I'm guessing, and both with Flash Bomb, and both with Restock. Okay, that is a heavy investment into them. That'll mean his frontline will suffer. We have Dwarf Warriors, Iron Breakers, Dwarf Warriors, Norgoons, Iron Breakers, Ekron Miners, Longbeards, Dwarf Warriors, 2 Thunderers as well, and more Dwarf Warriors. Yeah, this is a lot less elite of a frontline. Jeremy with the $10. Couldn't come up with a good reason, but here. Thanks, buddy. I am always really bad at knowing what to say in this situation, but you're a treasure, and you're appreciated. You've been a long-time supporter of the stream. How long have you been around? Have you been here since, like, the very start? I think you were around when I had, like, 10 subs. You've been here forever. Why would Skaven be any different than now, but with more stuff? Well, Cathay has a lot of the same stuff Skaven does, but they have, like, the Harmony, the Yin and Yang things, and they have some new Lords of Magic, and they have Lords that can turn into a dragon. Do I think Cathay is going to be better than Skaven? No, but if Skaven release into Game 3 with, like, a bunch of random-ass nerfs for no reason, then that would be pretty tragic. We don't know for sure how any of the Game 2 races are going to be transferred into this game, because we just don't know. Anyway. We have this same army from Moore, a bunch of Graveguard mixed with Graveguard Great Weapons, 2 supports Corpse Carts, of Argulf, Heinrich Kemmler, but he did trade out 2 of his Skeleton Warriors for Fellbats in case of Gyrocopter Cheese. If his opponent saw the last game and realized he had literally no air units, he could have just used a couple of Gyrocopters, killed his entire army, so he switches to some Fellbats. Pretty smart. Kudos to the brave lad first picking vampire counts. Yeah. It was pretty early in your stream life. Yeah, you were here. I just don't remember if you were in the double digits or the barely triple digits. Because we got into the barely triple digits pretty quickly because a lot of people in the scene already knew me. So they'd subscribe kind of quickly. But then we stalled out pretty hard around 300 for a bit. Then we got up to 700, stalled there for a while. And then we skyrocketed to 1,000 kind of crazily. That was wild. And now we're at 1,270 and doing our best. Dwarves will advance. Vampire Council advance. I personally don't love this build as much with the Double Thunderers and the weakened front line due to the Double Master Engineer. I personally think it's going to be weaker overall and it'll just get torn apart by all these Graveguard, but we'll have to see. Two big examples that charges don't seem to be working at all. They did last game's clue somebody's chain. I'm sorry for losing this game and I disgraced the rats. You're fine, dude. You're fine. You tried hard. It was a good fight. You couldn't quite kill Arkin. Double Master Engineers are just shooting. They're just shooting away. Dwarves are kind of reforming a little bit. Thunderers are also starting to fire into the zombies. A little bit of free poke, especially with Double Master Engineer, both of which have restock. You don't need to worry about ammo at all, so you might as well just shoot. Shoot for fun. Oh shit, yeah, glitch in the Matrix. What up, Doomsage, dude? How you doing, man? You sound a little tired there, bud? I am a little tired. I am tired. I moved 800 boxes of board games onto pallets so that if we have a leak in the basement, we don't lose $20,000 worth of random shit. Dwarf Army is kind of lacking, in your opinion? Yeah. Yeah. It's similar to the one I like a lot. Not exactly the same. Thunders are getting a little bit of damage here, but what is this? Dwarf Warriors for Blood Penguin running way outside their comfort zone. They're now going to get surrounded by Graveguard and, relatively speaking, torn apart. Nothing happens very quickly in Dwarves versus Vampire counts, but oh well. Other unit of Graveguard is getting mulched by some Iron Breakers. And Kemmler might want to get a little more aggressive. He does have that passive, the Chaos Tomb Blade we mentioned, that does do AoE healing passively, and his Graveguard are going to need that a lot, especially since neither of his corpse cards are the Unholy Lodestone version, so they don't do any healing. Venge, so much range? Yeah. It was set to 0.75 speed. Never mind, you sound normal. That's funny. Badumch. Anyway, Fire Ring of Thori is going to destroy this Skeleton Warrior that was fighting the Dragonback Slayers. Dragonback Slayers do apply a fire weakness that makes stuff do a lot more damage to them. And some Blasting Charges are going to try to kill Graveguard. Where is Kemmler and where is Krell? Kemmler's still chilling a little bit back. Maybe a little too far back. And this Vargulf's going for a vacation. Moore seems to be slightly out of sorts here. We will see. Some Dwarf Warriors are getting routed. Other Dwarf Warriors also getting routed. And now the Vargulf is coming back from his vacation. We're starting to heal up some of his Graveguard, though he has not yet committed Kemmler to melee combat where he could start healing up some of these guys. And it might cost him in the long run, we will see. Balance Power is still dead even, and Graveguard with great weapons hitting the Thunders from the front and Fellbats hitting him from behind will mean that those guys will actually die rather quickly, and maybe even route where the Fellbats can chase them. Now, the Fellbats that are still in the sky, we mentioned this earlier in the stream for a different matchup entirely, but they do need to be a little more aggressive about chasing things that are routing and not allowing them to come back in any capacity. As that is the only thing they can do in this game, is chase off things. Skeleton Warriors are disintegrating. Graveguard are going to crumble away to nothingness. And I'm getting a little worried for more. It feels like the single entities have been fucking around too much. Like, Kemmler's out in the middle of nowhere doing nothing. Vargulf's just now getting in the fight, but he was a little AFK for too long as well. And Kemmler has two different abilities. He has Undeath Resurgent, and he has the Chaos Tomb Blade. That makes him really want to be in a blob with all of his melee infantry. And him not being there, I think, is a huge downside for the Vampire counts. Vargulf can't afford to be out here chasing. Kemmler can't afford to be out here chasing. These Graveguard can't afford to be standing here. This entire area is I'm harping on it a lot, but I really don't like what's going on over there. You have two Fellbat units. They need to do the chasing. Kemmler and the Vargulf cannot be out here doing this stuff. They need to be harassing Thoric. They need to be harassing these Master Engineers. Vampire count's running out of chaff. Still, Kemmler is staying the fuck away from it. He needs to get in and here and heal some of this stuff before it's gone. He only has one Graveguard with great weapons left. No, two. Okay, he has two. Where are you going, Kemmler? Go back there! Heal them! Please, God, just go heal them! Oh, no. Okay, another Fire Ring of Thori hitting the Graveguard. What's the plan, Chief? What's the plan? Get in there! You'll have, if you wait, you'll have less chaff to defend these big single entities, and then they'll get surrounded by enemy chaff. Like, just go! Okay, I'm gonna start screaming! Just go! What are you waiting for? Go! Where is Kemmler going? What is the point? Oh, I'm getting so tilted. Spells were dimly, spells were bad, last game were good now, vice versa, clear those underlying systems. I think same going to change for Skaven, those equally not just one faction, there might be growing pains. I mean, like, to support Jeremy, like, NACL, what if, like, they changed the Skaven summon to have 3 charges instead of 5, and it costs 10 winds of magic? Like, Skaven would get mega fucked up by that, you know what I mean? So we just don't know. Like, it's just... It was a theoretical that, like, maybe Skaven will join the game and be weaker for some reason that I can't predict, and I just don't want to say for sure they're gonna do fine. I'm sure it'll catch up and feel normal again. Kemmler not providing his order is kind of like, why? Yeah, I've also been very clear I'm not a big fan of how long it took Kemmler to join this fight, because now he's joining the fight when everything's already dead. Like, there's no infantry here that can help him. I don't know. Kemmler was way too passive this game. Krell gets summoned now. But what can kill the Norgolm's Ironbreakers? This Vargulf's going to get dragged down by the Dragonback Slayers. Warhammer 4, how many years will it be until we have all this technology for units to respond in real time? And a chat button, Shetland Apache. I did get early access to Warhammer 4. Finally, my time has come. He's just doing it to troll you. Checkbox says is whether or not we can select them isn't checked. Kimmler's practicing Skaven tactics. Lead from the rear of combat. Blame his underlings. Yeah. I mean, a zombie summon is here, but there are Ironbreakers. There's Thoric. There's double pokey poke guys, and more is going to concede. Oof. That's brutal. Graveguard got mulched on. Fellbats, I mean, they chased stuff off. Corpse Guards did okay. Vargulf struggled as well. Thoric and the double engineers did fine. Slayers did well. Ironbreakers, Ekron Miners did well. And Thunderers just about paid for themselves. What is chat? GG, well played. GG, well played. Blood Penguin goes up 1-0. $299 kills with the IB. Ironbreakers. Yeah, they can eat through a lot of skeleton warriors and zombies and stuff. How is Norgel going to deal with the Deathwind mortars? Slow the entire roster besides Furies. Nurgle does have a lot of healing, though. And his Chaos Spawn don't really care about the Deathwind mortars. And single entities. Nurgle might have to, like, Soul Grinder it and stuff, but Nurgle, as he currently is, will be abysmally bad versus Skaven. Abysmally bad. Nurgle's going to be really bad against a lot of factions. Like a lot. VC lost. VC did lose, Mr. Hammond. VC did lose. Alright, I need a drink. BRB. I'm back. Calm down. Wait, they haven't picked factions yet? Jesus. What are they doing? Unless my computer freeze. Am I having a stroke? Why did they change to... Oh, Brett Chaos And then he hasn't said anything, but he's hovering Greenskins, and then Blood Penguin just assumed that that's real and he switched to Tourney. Got it. Alright, let's see. Good luck healing through 400 points of AoE explosion damage. I mean, Pox Riders? Are Pox Riders the Plague Toad Riders? One shot's pretty thing, bar low model count / SE. Yeah, but that's what I'm worried about with the Chaos Spawn and the Pox Riders and stuff. Nurgle just won't be winning against anybody with good artillery. In my opinion, you won't be winning against anyone with good artillery or skirmish cav or good archer line. Howling Warp Gale, Rattling Guns, Riders will be Poxies. Maybe they just cast range on the Plague. Posture like 300 meters. Excuse me. How did Nurgle almost win versus Null in the lore? I mean, Nurgle uses a lot more plague stuff in the lore, like actual plagues that kind of fuck up everybody's day. Giselle spam is coming. Yeah. Giselle's do well against Nurgle. Queek will not be meta. Not unless they drastically change how Footlords work. Play Void Nurgle into Cathay and say that? Wait. I feel like I've beaten Nurgle as Cathay a lot. I don't know. I'd have to play Void. So far, I haven't seen anything from Cathay that scares me. The Mountain Plague Toads. I mean, wouldn't Giselles do well against them? I would think, because they're slow and big and easy to hit. Skaven don't really care how big your health pool is, though. They are excellent at killing things with a big health pool. Just ask the Lizardmen. Anything that beats the Skaven has to be fast and low to the ground. Domination mode Tretch might be okay. Probably not. He'll be meta if you have to devote 18 hours a day for the next 6 years becoming Korean in order to make him meta myself. Oh, you're talking about Queek, yeah. It's Soul Grinder Kite on certain maps. Yeah. I mean, I feel like don't Soul Grinders just lose to cannon or two? Or is that not true? Because I feel like you can just wait out the Soul Grinder ammo and then you're pretty fine. Faramant just coming in here with the 0 and or capital O. Hard to tell. Chaos versus Greenskins. Okay. A lot of zeros, a couple M's, a poo, a .0. All right. Yes. Yes. Loving it. Doomsage, he is on the money. You're right. You are right. Plague Penguin's ready. Moore's thinking about it. Faramant's still going kind of nuts. Soul Grinder plus the breath spells from the Lord that does damage. Yeah, those breath spells did a lot, actually. I was playing a game against someone, I honestly forgot who it is. Maybe it was Trader GG, I don't remember. But we had Nurgle versus Cathay, and it was actually super close. Because of those damn breath spells. Big NACL, I can't tell if you're joking or not. Nurgle Soul Grinder is the best mortar in the game for Game 3. Isn't it the only mortar in the game for Game 3? I'm trying to think if there is another one. I'm gonna time out Fairmont. May the odds forever be in both your favors. Good luck. Well, we'll time out for 300 seconds, see how it feels. Moore's doing big thinking over there. Plus, you can't dodge in 3. Fair. I found Nurgle's Soul Grinders to be underwhelming because they use all their ammo and don't pay for themselves, and they have to get into melee, and usually they've taken a lot of damage in that time. Fire rain rockets would count, I imagine, same as sky junks. As mortars? I guess they could. Sky junks are better than Nurgle Soul Grinders, I think, because sky junks alone make certain matchups playable, like Slaanesh and Khorne. Moore's putting together a thesis over here. Trying to figure out the exact combo he needs to win this game. Nurgle Soul Grinders are great, one of the few sources of range and speed. Like, I understand that that's their function, but I feel, I don't know, I could be wrong, it's just my opinion. But I feel like Nurgle Soul Grinders always run out of ammo very quickly and don't deal that much damage before they have to get into melee. I don't know. Could be wrong, and I'm okay with that. I'm still learning Game 3 just like everybody else. Hazel made my plant sad by sleeping on one of its limbs. Now it's all crushed. Okay, this is a lot. There we go. We're ready. You found that the Sentinel bot can work without a Sky Junks. That's funny. It's funny you say that, John FB, because I personally started taking the Sentinels out of the Sky Junk box, but I kept the Sky Junk. Dude, I have had so many bad games with the Sentinels not being able to kill foot characters. So many. And it's like, they absorb heal after heal after heal and don't pay for themselves. Like, ever. Unless your opponent brings a couple big SEMs, then he sprints them into your Terracotta Sentinels so they can 2v1 it or something. But, like, most people don't do that against me. I have to face, like, triple foot hero and a shit ton of infantry and cav and that kind of garbage. Not really big single entities that the Terracottas can fight. And they are so bad against infantry. So bad. I recently put up the video Return of the Salt Rat or whatever, but it's like, they just can't hit infantry. Either between bad RNG, bad animations, or if they finally do hit, they'll like half the time knock it over and not even do damage. It's just fucking terrible. It's so bad. Okay. Greenskin... Dawkins did a thing in it. Wait, Greenskin maids are poop heads. We need the Black Orc spam. You're not going to get it. You're not going to get it. Fire rain rockets are underrated. You're right about the grinders, but combined with spells, the damage is pretty bad. I win without the Sentinels? Yeah, I've run some Celestial Dragon Guard stuff. I'm still working on it. It's definitely not like, I figured it out, I'm done testing, but like, I started out with the Terracotta Sentinels, and I have soured on them the more I've played with them, that I'm pretty over the Sentinels. If they're caring for you, that's good, man. That's good. And as I prefaced, we're all still figuring out Game 3 right now. So I could, get back on the Terracotta hype train. I'm just off it for now. But I don't even pretend to know what's the best yet. Fucking Doom Sage. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right. What are we doing? Chaos Marauders, Chosen with Great Weapons, Chaos Warriors, Warriors, Marauders, and then we have triple Chosen with Great Weapons. Kolek Sun Eater yet again from Blood Penguin. Chaos Sorcerer of Fire with Burning Head, Cascading Fire Cloak, and Fireball. Double Chaos Warhounds with Poison, and double Marauder Horsemen. For the Greenskins, we have Goblin Wolf Rider Archers with Armor Piercing, Forest Goblin Spider Riders, and Goblin Wolf Riders yet again. We have one Forest Goblin Spider Rider, not Archer, just a normal, an Orc Boar Boy, 2 Orc Boar Chariots, Date Peak Loons, Orc Biggins, so 5 Biggins. We have Grom the Paunch, Grom the Fat, Grease's Goldtooth, but better, the Big Boy, the Mad Lad, the OG, he's here. We have a Goblin Big Boss with Daymead Stabbin, and a Night Goblin Shaman with Vindictive Glare, Blue Fire, but worse. And Gork will fix it. You're just a blob noob? Nah, dude. I might have to get a Terracotta Sentinel in my Cathay versus Kislev build again to deal with those fucking chariots, because I can't stop them. I can't. I've tried Peasant Horsemen. They're just too bad. Like, their mass is okay, but they're just too bad. Someone was telling me to try Celestial Dragon Guard versus Kislev. I think it was Murph. But I think maybe one Terracotta Sentinel would also help me out a lot. Whoopsies. But we will see. So, skirmish phase has begun. Chaos is sprinting up, trying to get in there, do some damage. And meanwhile, the Greenskins are going to poke them all the way with 4 skirmish cav. That will certainly beat the Chaos's 2. 4 beats 2. It's all Greenskin players ever take, ever. Yeah, there's little variations, but it's a lot of skirmish cav. Dogs are chasing them off, and it looks like the skirmish cav isn't really going to get its value in the early game, so they'll have to be around for the late game. Dogs are going to catch a few of them, drag a couple Wolf Riders to the ground with them, but they will get side charged by some chariots. They do have to run away. Their leadership will dip low enough that they'll rout, but they'll just rout back into their own troops. It doesn't matter. In fact, they actually even rally to stay in the good graces of the Dark Gods. Cool. Frontlines have almost collided, and triple Chosen with Great Weapons plus some Chaos Warriors means the Greenskins are really not looking forward to that fight. Date Peak Loons, if they can charge up their spinny lads that I can't hover over at the moment, but if they get one spinning loon down the side of one of these Chosen with Great Weapons, that's going to be like 1,300 value, easy. Easy peasy. Orc Biggins are charging. They get a little bit of a downhill charge onto the Chaos Warriors. I don't know if it'll matter too much. They don't have great armor piercing, so the Chaos Warriors should eventually win, but Orc Boar Chariots are here to make that a miserable experience. And maybe Kolek should run in there? Yeah, he's thinking about it too. A Burning Head will clear out some of the Orc Biggins, and Kolek himself is going to sprint in, try and club down some of the Orc Boar Chariots, and he hits one. Hasn't killed it yet, but he did hit it right in its stupid face. Burning Head hits 2 different Orc Biggins. It's going to rout both of them and then go off harmlessly as Blood Penguin starts to dodge with some of his Chaos Marauders. Out of the 5 Orc Biggins, 2 are already gone. That is a very good start. Where are the Chosen? Chosen with Great Weapons. Chosen with Great Weapons. Honestly, maybe they want to turn and fight Grom the Paunch for a little bit. It looks like, I guess they don't. Kolek is running back here. He is murdering this Goblin Big Boss, and he's even going to cast a Lord of the Storm next to himself to try and rout off these Forest Goblin Spider Riders, doing a little bit of damage, just enough to tear out them as he beats this Goblin Big Boss to death. Now Grom is here to take his place in the fight. They will always 1v1 Kolek, and he's having trouble getting past that Goblin Big Boss. Does land a nice hit on Grom the Paunch, and he's just swinging. He's just going for it. He doesn't give a single shit, and Bounce Power's about even. I feel like the Greenskins are in more trouble than the bounce power is giving us credit for. So we still have a half health Chosen, 3/4 health Chosen, and a half health. Okay, I guess those guys are a little lower than I would have thought. 8 Peak Loons spinning off into the Chaos Marauders. Oof, instead of the Chosen. I mean, it's better than nothing, but brutal. Bunch of skirmish cav focusing Kolek, and a Burning Head with its leadership debuff will maybe rout off the Orc Biggins, just maybe lowering them enough. They're negative for a bit, but it looks like they will rally. and be okay. Chaos Monitors are still fighting. Ground Punch is back, charging into Kolek. Kolek ain't nobody's bitch, though. Even with 40% damage resist, he's getting fucked up. Cascading Fire Cloak is cast onto Kolek to give him some melee defense and arm-piercing damage, but he's not currently in a fight with anybody, so that might be wasted. Chaos Warriors are chopping down the Night Goblin Shaman, has a Vindictive Glare, and more Skirmish Cav Fire, harasses Kolek on his way down. But that Chaos Sorcerer Fire ain't giving up on chasing Grom the Paunch out of here, and if he gets a couple rear attacks in, that'll be pretty good. Grom just spins around on a dime and all of a sudden starts fighting him. That's a little weird looking. But okay. Gork will fix it, lowering the speed of some of the Skirmish Cav and Dogs, trying to keep them out of the hair of the Greenskin Skirmish Cav. Don't really want to get into melee combat over there. Grom's still fighting this Fire Sorcerer who really isn't getting any hits in, it looks like. Grom's 35 melee defense is somehow keeping him fine and happy. I think it's mostly because this Firecaster isn't even attacking. It's just sitting there ominously. I love Grom. Grom doesn't break this game in any way. There's a Fireball. I knew it was coming eventually. Nice little hit onto the back of him, just keeps him honest. Kolek's still alive and menacing, though he's not very healthy. The Greenskins are trying to rally back into this game. They still have 2 Orc Boar Chariots that are going to be rather annoying to deal with. Orc Biggins and the AP Gloons fighting Chosen. These Chosen are still very healthy. They're going to have to be super useful in the late game if the Chaos Forces are to win this, and Vindictive Glare goes a little wide if Kolek could have done a lot of damage to him. Little variations for getting chevrons doesn't count. Might be an overextension by Kolek. Never mind, it'll demoralize him. Yeah, Kolek's a fucking Chad, dude. That's why I love this guy. He's like Durthu, in that he just... Like, it feels like his stats don't matter. When he swings, he hits. He's just great. It's just great. Oh, nice little juke there from Moron Grom the Paunch. Dodges a fireball. He is going to keep kiting away. Doesn't have a lot of ammunition left on these guys, though. In fact, only one of his Skirmish Cavies even has any ammo left. Chaos Marauders, Chosen, Chaos Warriors, Sorcerer of Fire, chasing around the Night Goblin Shaman. I don't know who's going to win this. I feel like Chaos is in a decent spot, but Greenskin can still take it. It's not over. It's not over till it's ogre. Kolek getting awful close. Maybe he can get a swing. Terror routes one of the Boar Chariots. Natural routes the other. And he's going to turn and start clubbing away on these Goblin Wolf Riders. That's a pretty nice play over there from the Chaos Forces. Just get some freebies. And Grom the Paunch is stuck in Chosen with Great Weapons at the moment. He did not enjoy that trade whatsoever, and he is going to roll away. Lucky Banner was popped for 40% damage resistance. And Kolek's just a route machine. Everywhere he goes, people are routing. Look at him go. Just look at him go. These Orc Biggins are also going to route, maybe. If Kolek ever turns at them, they definitely will. 8 Peak Loons can't route. There's only 9 of them left, but they are unbreakable, so whoops. This is a charge bonus I tested the other day. Imric versus Kolek. If you can prevent Kolek from getting a charge by using Reavers. I see. But also he just has, like, really good swinging animations. Imric won't take a single hit 9 out of 10 times. Well, fancy that, Imric. Fancy that. Kolek clubbed some more Skirmish Cav death now that they don't have any ammunition, and a brutal side hit from an overcasted fireball will maybe route Grom the Paunch, if not take him very close to death. Kolek's going to run at him too, just trying to route the dumb bastard, and he does route a little bit. 84 speed, Kolek's 78, but a charge bonus is a hell of a drug, and army losses all of a sudden hits for the Greenskins. Taking us to game 3 with Blood Penguin up 2-0. Loon's got okay value. Orc Biggins just got slapped across the board by the Chaos Forces. Chariots did good. Skirmish Cav honestly did pretty well too. And the Orc Boar Boys, who I can never get to do anything, did actually okay. For Blood Penguin, Kolek was carrying hard. Chaos Sorcerer Fire also did well. Chosen with Great Weapons did fine. Chaos Warriors did okay. Skirmish Cav did okay. And Dogs did fine. Hell yeah. GG, well played. Martial Mastery, his melee defense is like 72 or something silly. That would explain how he doesn't get hit. That would explain how he doesn't get hit. Did I get rid of my screen blocker entirely, or I think I did. Whoops. Whoops. What did I call that thing? This? Yep. All right. Blood Penguin's up. 2-0. Martial. Mastery gives more melee attack than Martial. Okay. All right. All right. A bunch of high elf nerds in the chat. Can't believe you play high elves. Can't believe it. Pick a real faction. Like Skaven. Estalion Tomb and Moore's Pick. What will he do? Very small map. Grace accidentally brought club soda instead of tonic water. And I'm not a wasteful person, so I gotta figure out some way to drink it. And a vodka tonic. I usually have vodka tonics, but vodka club soda is just not the same. It tastes like garbage. So I got some cranberry juice, and cranberry juice with club soda is fine. Tastes mostly just like fizzy cranberry juice, which works. Filthy Lizardmen. I used to be much more salty about the Lizardmen until Beastmen got like broken. Oxyotl is a fucking piece of shit. I also used to hate Chameleon Skinks, and then they got nerfed, so that was fine. But yeah, I raged at Lizardmen all the time when Chameleon Skinks were OP, and then they got nerfed, and I was fine with them. And then Oxyotl came out, and I was not fine with Lizardmen again. Has anyone here seen No Jutsu, the Naruto parody? No. I've seen a couple Naruto parodies in my day, but not that one. Fucking love cranberry juice. Cranberry juice is great. Cranberry juice is underrated. Because it's kind of got that, like, a lot of fruit juices just taste super sugary, but cranberry juice can kind of taste bitter. Kind of. It's not fully bitter, but it's like, it's got a little bit in there. Empire. I feel Empire is very good against Tomb King, so we're probably going to get an Empire mirror, unless Moore is crazy. But Moore might just be crazy. My drink is gone. Oxyotl is a bit ew. Oxyacetylene is pretty sweet. I'm trying to figure out if oxyacetylene tastes sweet, and that's why you're saying that as a joke. Cranberry juice is bitter as fuck. Nasty, nasty. What? Hammond? Get your heresy out of here. Cranberry juice is lovely. It's just lovely. Moore is picking Tomb Kings and auto insta-locking. Anybody in the chat played Untitled Goose Game? If you were here for the earlier stream, you're hearing this again, but I have this shirt from Grace that fucking kicks ass. Let's see. I'll pull up the stream thing so I can see what I'm centered. It's like the goose from Untitled Goose Game. He's got a little bat in his mouth. Yep. And then text beneath it says, you mess with the honk, you get the bonk. I don't know. Grace thinks it's funny, and she got it for me. It's pretty sweet. I love this shirt. It tastes like piss? No, it doesn't. Liar. You never felt like the lizards are broken? They've always been good or leaning into great, but not OP? That's probably true. No one knows your weird games? A lot of people know Untitled Goose Game. Search The Departed cranberry juice. I'm sure this won't go poorly for me. Oh, it's a whole video. Is that Leonardo DiCaprio in there? Damn. Mess with the honk, you get the bonk. I think we beat that game. Yeah, we beat Untitled Goose Game. Oh god. One of my favorite meme templates of all time is this Terminator one. Oh shit, they're loading in the game. We gotta be quick. I love this Terminator meme setup. Like this specific one is pretty good. But I just love that shit. Your foster parents are dead. Or another one that was super relatable was like, is your mom a tabletop gamer? And then he says, yeah. Hello there. Hi, honey. I have enough oh, wait, no. All my miniatures are painted. Then he hangs up. Your foster parents are dead. Because nobody ever has all their miniatures painted, dude. Nobody. If you say you got all your miniatures painted, you're a fucking liar. I don't paint too much. I have some stuff painted, but... I have like all these. Those all need painting. I also have my Skaven somewhere. My Skaven need painting. Yeah, we'll get back to the game in a second. No one gives a shit about that. It's me. What up? My box full of Skaven. Got some rat ogres. Look at him. Oh, he's cute. He's got a gun for an arm. I got another rat ogre with a little rat riding him, saying, that way, go kill him. None of these are painted, because they're so precious to me that I need to be good at painting before I paint them, which I'm not. Got a little Packmaster with his whip. I don't even play tabletop. I got him for, like, throwing him into Dungeons & Dragons campaigns and stuff. I've played tabletop games, just not Warhammer specifically. I kind of made, like, a Nurgle corrupted one. Camera's not going to focus on it because it likes my face too much, but he has, like, a bunch of, like, worm arms and shit. And then there's a rat swarm. Not that impressive, but it's a bunch of little rats. And at last, we have another Packmaster, but he's Clan Scryer. None of them are painted. But we will get there. My buddy Mr. Overlord got those for me a while ago. He's a cool dude. Alright. We'll put these away, then we'll do the video game stuff. Yep. Mess with the honk, you get the bonk. It's been a strong stream. Alright. Make this small again. It's me, I'm up in the corner. Alright. Pretty sure your mic just picked up a huge fart. Probably. They happen. You're on the other side of the screen, you can't smell shit. Alright, for more we have Tomb Guard, Tomb Guard, Tomb Guard. Skeleton Spearmen, more Tomb Guard, Skeleton Spearmen, Spearmen. A shitload of archers, including Blessed Legion of Fakach. One Ushapti Greatbow, more Skeleton Spearmen, some Nekar Horsemen, more Ushapti Greatbows. So it's a pretty standard pike and shot build from the Tomb Kings. I thought I saw Cetra on a kitty cat, and there's Cetra on a gigantic kitty cat. Alright. For the Empire of Blood Penguin, we have Knights of the Blazing Sun, Sigmar's Sons, more Knights of the Blazing Sun, a bunch of swordsmen, some handgunners, some huntsmen. It looks like Volkmar the Dank Memer, a fire wizard, and a warrior priest. So, 2 pike and shot builds versus each other. That's cool. Burning Head is going to get a solid 2-for-1. Oh, gosh, that was Value City. Takes out the entire ROR and crumples away a normal one. All my miniatures are painted as you legally disown all your unpainted ones. Fair enough. Fair enough. And a banishment follow-up from Volkmar. Really trying to take out the Blessed Legion, and he does. So the Tomb Kings are down about 2.5 of their archers. Maybe down 3.5, since I swore there was a fourth one over here that is no longer there. That is a brutal, brutal start for Mr. Moore. Now I wonder what these Ushabti Greatbows are shooting at. Looks like they're both trying to shoot at Volkmar the Grim. Maybe take him down to size, but this is one of the reasons Volkmar is so tanky. As you can see, they're all shooting at the little guy on top of the altar. They're not shooting at the altar itself, so a lot of the Ushabti Greatbow shots are going to go wide. A lot. Technicalities are my favorite. Sounds like you need a floor pad for your chair. Don't want floor scratches. Nah, dude. It's fine. Everything's fine. Turin calls them the Blessed Legion of Demonetization. I just go for it. I say fuck enough as it is. Okay. You have caught up on chat mostly. So, Moore, after losing a lot of his archers, has made a good play on the far side where he took some Nakar horsemen and swung around back to round off some huntsmen and swordsmen. Also, his Tomb Guard and skeleton spearmen are pushing up. So that is good for them. And Cetra and his big kitty cat is being big and spooky. Silver bullets, though, are ready to shoot into him. Nehekar horsemen are trying to charge some huntsmen, but they are getting shot. Or as Turin would say, last samurai down. And Cetra is going to sprint over here and take care of the silver bullets himself, since he can't count on anybody to do it for him. W Shopti Greatbow are still healthy. They're still very much alive, have half ammo apiece, and some of them are shooting at Knights of the Blazing Sun. The other ones, I don't know what they're trying to shoot at, but they're currently reorganizing, so I guess we'll find out in a bit. Spearmen in the center are about to rout while fighting the Tomb Guard, and the Tomb Guard will finish off the Sigmar Sons. We're down to one last unbreakable guy. And some flagellants are moving forward. That's going to be a brutal burning head. Hits, kind of tickles that one, but it hits 3 units dead on. Doing a lot of damage to Tomb Kings there. Bounce power is about even, a little bit Tomb King favored now that most of the Empire's ranged assets have been pushed off as well. Somehow, this Skeleton Archer has hung on this long while it's been crumbling the entire time, and Flagellants are getting nearby. We're just going to ignore the Archers, let them crumble away on their own. Instead, they will pressure the Ushabti Greatbows. You also enjoy Dav's sad swords for Dark Elves. The sad swords. I never watched much of Dav's content, but people tell me it's good, so I'll believe them. I have nothing against Dav, I just never ran into him in the YouTube sphere. Cetra chased off the silver bullets. Now he is running downhill to get to the Huntsman. Again, he's getting shot in the face while he does so, but he doesn't care too much. He has some missile resist for being a lord, has physical resist because of the spell, and has 95 armor. So he's chilling. He's big chilling. The Ushabti Greatbows are still kiting as best they can. One got caught up in the flagellants a little bit. And we do have a close game. It currently favors the Tomb Kings, but I think once the Empire is able to sweep up some of these extra Tomb Guard that are laying around with their Knights of Blazing Sun and Volkmar cycle charging, that'll be a pretty big deal. Cetra will outduel Volkmar, I think, especially with his own spell support. So maybe he has him there. Good Soulfire Bombardment pokes down some Skeleton Spearmen and Tomb Guard. They're starting to crumble just a little bit, and the Empire is really trying to sweep up the last of what's going on here. Knights of the Blazing Sun are running over with the Grand Hammer of Sigmar, trying to help take out the Tomb Guard, but also I imagine that they want to swing quickly through here and get to the Ushabti because their flagellant friends were peeled off. Those Ushabti do need to be shut down. 100%. Tomb Guard now crumbling, and everybody from the Empire runs over here, trying to support the Knights of Blazing Sun, who are going to run away, but oof, nasty hit from the Warrior Priest. Takes out a full Ushabti model. They're very damaged, but they still have 8 out of their 9 models, so they actually have a lot of damage potential left in them. And for Nero's Incantation of Protection gives them a little bit of healing from the lore passive of the Lore of Nehekara, but also 40% physical resist to keep them healthy and happy in this fight. Bounce power is back to about dead even. Some Huntsmen from Blood Penguin are going to shoot at Nehekara Horsemen just before they get compromised and killed, as is their birthright. Overcasted Fireball from the Bright Wizard does a lot of damage to him, only a little bit of damage to Cetra, so that might have been an overinvestment on that little spell there. Joff's Cursed Blades, giving Cetra a little bit more weapon strength as he's about to 3v1 the single entities of the Empire, though the Bright Wizard is going to back up momentarily as he doesn't really have much of a horse in this race. Haha, because he's on a horse. He charges back into Cetra. Cetra's taking a lot of damage here. Ushabti Greatbows are trying to support the fight, but again, they're shooting at Volkmar, not the chariot he's sitting on. So he's chilling. He's big vibing, and Cetra's not having a good time at all fighting these triple single entities. I honestly thought it would be going better for him than this, but Volkmar does do magic damage, I suppose, and a little bit of fire damage from the Bright Wizard and Warrior Priest and Volkmar, because the Warrior Priest actually has the Banner of Eternal Flame that gives them all fire damage, and Cetra is weak to that as a Tomb King's Lord. Okay, didn't think about that. So yeah, he doesn't want to fight them at all. Big old Soul Farm Bombardment's going to try to clear out some Skeleton Spearmen and do damage to the Netcar Horsemen as Cetra cycle charges back in once more, but he is just risking himself. He's currently stuck on his own Ushabti Greatbow and he can't get away. Now he is starting to claw his way out of this bad situation as another Soul Farm Bombardment comes in from the other Warrior Priest this time. Tomb Guard in the distance can try and get involved back on this fight. One Ushabti Greatbow is still chilling, able to fire, still shooting at Volkmar. Let's see if they can actually get some good hits on him. They get a couple. They might want to switch onto the Bright Wizard and the Warrior Priest just to hit them more consistently on their horse models, take them out, and then leave Volkmar all alone. Maybe should do that rather than shooting Volkmar, who can heal up and is proving rather impervious to that kind of attack. Cetra is getting hunted down by the Warrior Priest in this moment. Grand Hammer of Sigmar is giving him 69, nice melee attack. And Cetra is going to take a couple hits. He's still trying to run away, but this guy's faster than him because he's on a horse and Cetra's on the big kitty. Cetra is going to crumble away, and without him, the Tomb King's chances of winning will fall as well. Ushabti Greatbows are charging into melee combat with the Warrior Priest, but Cetra falls, and that will be the Empire Ascendant. John Cleese would have an ability called Faulty Fightin'. Ushabti are so good. They're trying. Okay, the idea of making a total conversion for Game 3, it turns into Monty Python, the Holy Grail, like all the cabbages people clumping coconuts together. Why? Ulrich would, not Ulrich, Nagash would be good for Game 3. I don't know why I said Ulrich. All the casters would be named Tim. Blamage. Alright. Cetra 1,500-ish damage value. Skeleton Spearman, not much. Tomb Guard did pretty well, all things considered. Archers got murdered. Big murdered by spells. Especially that 2-for-1 Burning Head. Ushabti Greatbows actually did super great. Volkmar did great. Wow. Yeah, the Bright Wizard did 2,600 damage value. 1,100 on the Warrior Priest. All the Unbreakable troops did what they had to. Spearmen and Swordsmen all died for the great cause. Huntsmen also didn't get too much done. Neither the Silver Bullets got shut down really early by Moore, which was pretty nice, but the single entity squad apparently was too much for him there. GG, well played. GG, well played. And Blood Penguin will take the series. He will take the series. What does Hammond want? What do you call a group of cannibals? A cannabus? 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 Always find a way to disappoint. Hey, GG, lads. It was a fun one. Once all the necromancy juices get flowing, or however that works. Alright. That's going to be it for this stream today, the second stream, and I will be also done with streaming until Monday, where we'll have our interview with Random Nicks with all of your questions. If you have more questions, please get them into the Discord. Aside from that, tired and I don't have anything left to say. I'll release a video as soon as I'm done with this stream. And yeah, goodbye forever. Goodbye forever.